people who might have been exposed to the disease. Mark?
Michael Nelson, news some really promising research. The discovery of a new gene could lead to better methods to detect and treat breast cancer. A study to be released later today found this same gene activated in most breast cancer patients. Joining us now to explain the significance of the findings, Dr. Patricia Berg, who led the George Washington University Medical Center team. Good morning and congratulations.
Good morning, Larkin. Thank you.
Now, as a researcher, how excited are you about the possibilities from your findings?
Well, we're very excited about them. As both a scientist and the mother of a daughter, we'd like to do something to help the 212,000 women who will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year in the United States, and the approximately 40,000 women who will die of breast cancer.
All right, in layman's terms, tell us about the find. You found this gene, BP1, and what did you find about it?
We found that this gene is activated in 80% of women who have breast cancer.
When you say it's activated, because we're also going to hear this term expressed, I guess it's also how you put it. Right. What does that mean when you say it's activated in 80%?
Well, every person has this gene, and they have it in every cell in their bodies. The question is whether the gene is actively making protein or whether it's turned off. So those are the terms, sort of turned on, turned off.
So, so if you have breast cancer, you found that it's turned on in 80% of the patients.
That's right.
And that surprised you.
That was surprising. It's a very high number, and because of that, we hope that this may be a method that we can, a gene that we can target for early detection and therapy.
Yeah, so give us the best case scenario here. You've identified this gene that gets turned on in breast cancer patients, so you try to, stop it from being turned on, basically?
Yes. There are two approaches here. One would be early detection. We're trying to work out a blood test now. We're working with a breast surgeon at George Washington University, where I am, and also we are in the laboratory looking at drugs, but we really need to do a very large survey of drugs that might be able to turn the gene off. The other finding is, as you mentioned, that this finding may be very helpful to African-American women who have breast cancer.
Why so?
Well, it was disproportionately turned on among African-American women. It was expressed in 89% of African-American women and only 57%, although that's still a very high number, in Caucasian women's tumors.
Yeah, we were seeing the pictures there of you in the lab. Just take us inside this process. You know, you're a biochemist, a microbiologist. What does it take to identify a whole new gene? How painstaking is that?
Well, I have to say that I have spent something like 16 years working on this gene. It has a long history, and not only have we found actually that it's expressed in breast cancer, it's also turned on in some acute leukemias. And I've been studying this gene. We cloned it, we sequenced it, we have submitted the sequence to GenBank, so it's in the database for other scientists who may be working in this area.
I know one of the things you want to do some expedited research here. What does that take? What kind of dollars are we talking about?
Well, I can't give you an exact number, but certainly we would like to partner with a pharmaceutical company who has the experience and the know-how to test many drugs. We have in the lab already found 2 drugs that do turn down the expression of this gene that potentially might be useful.
Dr. Berg, help us put this in perspective. Is this a breakthrough?
Well, we think it's an early significant finding.
So in layman's terms, you would call it what, an advance, and you hope it will be a breakthrough. Don't be modest. I mean, say it again. What's the phrase that you like to use, and what may others be calling it today?
Well, I think that we can fairly say it is an early significant breakthrough, because we haven't found in the literature any other genes in sporadic cancer, which means non-inherited cancer, that have this kind of frequency, and the non-inherited cancers account for 95% of breast cancers.
So, Dr. Berg, it is certainly an exciting finding, and you're going to be talking more about it later today with your team, local researchers, 11 o'clock today. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us a preview. We appreciate it. Michael.
Thank you. Coming up, Fairfax.
That's a check of your Fox 5 on-time traffic. Amy, back to you.
Julie, thank you. The discovery of a new gene could lead to better methods to detect and treat breast cancer. A study released today finds that a particular gene is activated in most breast cancer patients. The research suggests that the gene interferes with the body's ability to regulate cells in such a way that helps cancerous cells survive and multiply. Speaking earlier on the Fox 5 Morning News, Dr. Patricia Berg said her research provides a promising lead to the future treatment of breast cancer.
I think that we can fairly say it is an early significant breakthrough, because we haven't found in the literature any other genes in sporadic cancer, which means non-inherited cancer, that have this kind of frequency, And the inherited cancers account for 95% of breast cancers.
The findings may also help doctors determine why breast cancer is more aggressive in black women than in white women. The study is published in the Journal of Breast Cancer Research. Allison.
As prevalent as breast cancer is skin cancer.
News tonight of what some are calling a breakthrough in the fight against breast cancer. Researchers at George Washington University Hospital announced they have found the gene they believe is responsible for 4 out of 5 cases. In tonight's On Call, Allison Seymour shows us how this discovery could help save thousands of lives.
We think it's an early significant finding.
Dr. Patricia Berg of George Washington University Medical Center and her team of researchers have zeroed in on one gene that could cause breast cancer. It's called BP1.
We found that this gene is activated in 80% of women who have breast cancer.
The gene was more prevalent in African American women. 89% express the gene. What does that mean? Well, researchers say the gene is a lot like a light switch. It's either on or off. When it's on, like the lights, the cancer grows. But when it's off, the gene stays dormant or in the dark. Dr. Berg is already looking for ways to turn the gene off with drugs.
We have in the lab already found 2 drugs that do turn down the expression of this gene that potentially might be useful.
And this finding could one day lead to a simple blood test that would tell a woman if she is likely to get breast cancer, helping to stop a cancer that will kill 40,000 women this year. For Fox 5 On Call, I'm Allison Seymour.
If Dr. Berg looks excited, here's why. She has studied this gene for 16 years and says there is still much more to learn.
It has been touted as a cancer fighter and a calming elixir.